Finger pad control, backspin, follow through. Finger pad control, backspin, follow through. Today we're going to talk to you guys about Pistol Pete, okay? We'll start out with some bio. His name was Peter Press Maverick. He was born June 22nd, 1947. He was the son of Press and Helen Maverick. He went to high school at Daniel in Aquilpa, Pennsylvania. Funny facts about Pistol Pete. Neighbors remember seeing Pistol Pete dribble the basketball out of a car while going 20 miles an hour. He wore the word pistol on the back of his jersey to symbolize his nickname that they called him. He was called Pistol because whenever he shot the ball, he'd shoot it from down here and bring it up just like a pistol. At age 11, he once made 500 consecutive free throws in a row. He once won a bet by spinning his finger on the basketball for an hour when he was 13. He grew up in a basketball family. His dad was a coach, and he coached him from an early age in high school all the way through college. He would practice basketball nonstop. In the summer, he would spend around 7 to 8 hours a day working hard on his basketball game, and during the school, he'd practice 3 to 4 hours. So that's practically a busy day, getting home at 3 and then practicing another 4 hours. Bring you down to 7 o'clock, just doing homework for about an hour and a half before going to bed. So he was pretty dedicated. His goal was to play in the NBA. That was his goal. As you can see in this picture, he wasn't that big of a guy. He was pretty skinny. And he played point guard for Daniel High School, and he would average 33.1 points per game as a freshman on the varsity squad. When I started the presentation, doing the finger pad control follow through, he would lull himself to sleep by saying those things. He would use it as a reminder to shoot the ball correctly every single time, and it would be in his mind to do it every single time when he shot the ball on the basketball court. He went to college at LSU, Louisiana State University. He averaged 44 points, 0.5 points a game during his 4 years there. His dad was a coach for him, and he played pretty well. They never won a championship, but he was showtime, and people like to come and see him play. I don't know if this will work, but I'll try this. Not. I'll just go. Sorry. Stalin. Well, it's not showing up. I'll have to skip it. Sorry about this. A little technical difficulty. He accomplished his goal in 1970. He was drafted. All right. Back to this. He was drafted in 1970 by the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. He was the third overall pick. So he reached his dream by countless hours of practicing and just countless hours of practicing in the backyard and just thinking about it every single day. He played for the Atlanta Hawks, Utah Jazz, and Boston Celtics. He would average 24.2 points a game during his 10 years in the NBA. He became a model for new basketball. Some of the moves that he would do, he'd do like a no-look pass, and then he would just showboat it, and people today use his moves. And so he was the new style basketball back in the early 60s and 70s. After basketball, he became a speaker for Campus Crusade for Christ. He would speak about his testimony and how he became a Christian, and he would talk about how he would relate his basketball goals with his goals and his faith. He died of heart failure while playing basketball in a charity game in January 5th, 19. He was 40 years old. So he died doing the thing he loved, playing basketball. So, all right. In conclusion, we talked about Pistol Pete's childhood when he set a goal. Next, we talked about Pistol Pete's high school, and it's where he made his dream possible. Pistol NBA days is when he made his dream a reality. So, in conclusion, I would tell you guys to never give up on your goals and to dream high and achieve them, because when you set goals, you're more likely to reach them instead of if you just go and do it. So if you write it down and you look back at it, it helps you remember to do it. So one of the quotes that Pete Maravich said was, "Setting a goal is not the main thing. It is deciding how you will go about achieving it and staying with it, with the plan." My sources were Google Images, the book, Pistol, The Life of Pete Maverick by Mark Kringle, the movie Pistol by Rodney Stone. This concludes my presentation. Are there any questions? The question was, why did I choose this topic? I chose this topic because I enjoy playing basketball, and he was a great role model to do it, because he just immersed himself in basketball and just accomplished things by just putting his heart and soul into it and just going with it, even though he was a little kid. He was around 5'9". It's 5'9". He grew a little bit more in college, but he was a pretty small kid. The question was, the way he shot it? Did he develop himself? Yes, he did. He was the new style. He did it himself. Now that it concludes my presentation, I'd like to test you guys to see if you remembered some of the stuff. Does anybody know what bet he did to get $5? Show of hands. Yep, he spun the basketball on his hand for an hour when he was 13, exactly. Yep. Anybody know what else he did with the basketball? I'll give you a hint. A car. Is it with the ball? Yep, he dribbled the basketball 20 miles an hour. His dad drove him into town, and he would drive, and people would see him, and they'd think, there goes that Pistol Pete. Press as a little kid, so yeah. Any other questions? Do I follow my own advice? Yes, I try to. Any other questions? All right, thanks for listening.